The ceasefire between Hamas and Israel will go into effect Sunday at 8:30 a.m., mediator Qatar announced Saturday, as families of hostages held in Gaza braced for news of loved ones. Palestinians prepared to receive freed detainees and humanitarian groups rushed to set up a surge of aid. But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu later warned that a ceasefire won't go forward unless Israel receives the names of hostages to be released, as had been agreed. His statement came almost 3 hours after Israel had expected to receive the names, which Hamas was to give to mediator Qatar. There was no immediate response from Hamas or Qatar. The overnight approval of the ceasefire deal by Israel's cabinet, in a rare meeting during the Jewish Sabbath, set off a flurry of activity and a fresh wave of emotions as relatives wondered whether hostages would be returned alive or dead. The pause in 15 months of war is a step toward ending the deadliest, most destructive fighting ever between Israel and the Hamas militant group, and comes more than a year after the only other ceasefire achieved. The first phase of the ceasefire will last 42 days, and negotiations on the far more difficult second phase are meant to begin just over 2 weeks in. After those 6 weeks, Israel's security cabinet will decide how to proceed. Israeli airstrikes continued Saturday, and Gaza's health ministry said 23 bodies had been brought to hospitals over the past 24 hours. "What is this truce that kills us hours before it begins?" asked Abdullah Alakad, the brother of a woman killed by an airstrike in the southern city of Khan Yunis. Health officials said a couple and their 2 children, aged 2 and 7, were dead. And sirens sounded across central and southern Israel, with the military saying it intercepted projectiles launched from Yemen. Iran-backed Houthi rebels there have stepped up attacks in recent weeks, calling it solidarity with Palestinians in Gaza. In a post on X, Qatar's foreign minister advised Palestinians and others to exercise caution when the ceasefire goes into effect and wait for directions from officials. Israel's military later said Palestinians will not be able to cross the Netjerim corridor that runs across central Gaza for the first 7 days of the ceasefire, and it warned Palestinians not to approach Israeli forces. People were eagerly waiting to return home. "The first thing I will do is go and check my house," said Mohammad Mehdi, a father of 2 who was displaced from Gaza City's Zaytown neighborhood. He also looked forward to seeing family in southern Gaza, but is still concerned that one of us could be martyred before we are able to meet. Majida Abu Zarat said she has moved 7 times with her husband and their 6 daughters during the war, heeding Israeli evacuation orders and staying in tents, abandoned classrooms, or on the street. "We will remain in a tent, but the difference is that the bleeding will stop, the fear will stop, and we will sleep reassured," she said while packing. In the ceasefire's first phase, 33 hostages in Gaza are set to be released over 6 weeks in exchange for 737 Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. Israel's Justice Ministry has published a list of the prisoners, all younger or female. An organization that represents victims of Palestinian attacks vowed to petition Israel's Supreme Court to stop the release. According to the ceasefire plan approved by Israel's cabinet, the exchange will begin at 4 p.m., 1400 GMT, Sunday. The plan says 3 living female hostages will be returned on day 1, 4 on day 7 and the remaining 26 over the following 5 weeks. During each exchange, Palestinian prisoners will be released by Israel after hostages have arrived safely. Also to be released are 1,167 Gaza residents who were not involved in 7 October 2023, Hamas-led attack that sparked the war. All women and children under 19 from Gaza held by Israel will be freed during this phase. All Palestinian prisoners who were convicted of deadly attacks will be exiled to Gaza or abroad, some for 3 years and others permanently, and barred from returning to Israel or the West Bank. The remaining hostages in Gaza, including male soldiers, are to be released in a second phase to be negotiated during the first. Hamas has said it will not release the remaining captives without a lasting ceasefire and a full Israeli withdrawal. Also during the ceasefire's first phase, Israeli troops are to pull back into a buffer zone about a kilometer, 0.6 miles, wide inside Gaza, along its borders with Israel. That will allow many displaced Palestinians to return to their homes, including in Gaza City and largely isolated and devastated northern Gaza. With most of Gaza's population sheltering in massive, squalid tent camps, Palestinians are desperate to get back to their homes, even though many were destroyed or heavily damaged. Gaza should also see a surge in food, medical supplies and other humanitarian aid. The ceasefire plan approved by Israel's cabinet says all trucks entering Gaza will be subject to Israeli inspections. It is clear that the situation in Gaza is still extremely complex and a lot of difficulties still remain for an effective distribution, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said Saturday. The Hamas-led 7th October attack killed some 1,200 people and left some 250 others captive. Nearly 100 hostages remain in Gaza. Israel responded with an offensive that has killed more than 46,000 Palestinians, according to local health officials, who do not distinguish between civilians and militants but say women and children make up more than half the dead.